Your dog is asleep on the floor, and its paws are moving. Little paddling motions, faster and faster, running in place against the air. A muffled sound escapes it, half a bark, swallowed before it finishes. Its eyelids are fluttering, its whiskers twitch, a leg kicks. And for a moment the running gets frantic, urgent, like it's chasing something, or being chased, hard, across some ground you cannot see. You've watched this 100 times. You've smiled at it, filmed it, called someone over to look. But stop right now and really see it. Behind those closed, flickering eyes, something is happening. Something is going on in there. Your dog is somewhere, and wherever it isn't here, on this floor, in this room. It's gone. It slipped out of the world while you were watching and went somewhere else entirely. Where? Where do they go? What is your dog seeing right now, running so hard after a thing that isn't in the room? What do animals dream about? That's the question tonight, and it is so much more answerable than you'd think. Because it turns out scientists have chased animals into their dreams with brain recordings and clever experiments, and they have come back with things that sound impossible. They have watched a sleeping animal get up and act out its dream in front of them. They have, in one astonishing case, read the dream right off an animal's brain, well enough to know exactly where it thought it was. We are not guessing in the dark here, we have actually looked inside. By the end of this, I'm going to tell you about the experiment where researchers could tell precisely where a sleeping rat was dreaming it was running, tracing its dream like a finger on a map. And about the cats that rose to their feet, still fast asleep, and hunted prey that did not exist. But the deepest, softest question we're building toward is this one. Your house cat, who has never hunted anything in its life, who has never gone hungry, who has never stalked across open ground after a living thing, does it dream of the hunt anyway? Does the wild come back for it at night? Stay with me, because the answer is one of the most beautiful things in this whole series. So first, the basic question, do animals even dream at all? And here, biology gives us a clean and surprising place to stand. In humans, the most vivid dreaming happens during a stage of sleep called REM, named for the rapid eye movements that flick behind your closed lids while it's happening. REM is the deep theater of dreams, the stage where the wildest, most story-like dreams play out. And here's the thing, REM sleep is not ours alone. It runs through the mammals, through dogs and cats and rats and elephants and us. And it runs through birds too. The biological stage of dreaming, the exact machinery in which our own dreams unfold, is shared across an enormous swath of the animal world. So the question was never really whether animals dream. They have the engine of dreaming humming inside them, the same as you. The real question, the interesting one, is what plays on that stage when the lights go down. Start with what you can already see on your own living room floor. The twitching, the paddling paws, the little muffled barks, the running legs. Here's what's happening. During REM sleep, your brain does something clever and important. It paralyzes your body. There's a switch deep in the base of the brain that shuts off your muscles while you dream so that you don't physically act out whatever's happening in the dream, so you don't leap out of bed and run and fight in your sleep. We met this paralysis earlier in this series, from the terrifying side, when it lingers a moment too long and traps you awake. But its real, nightly job is protective. It pins the dreamer safely in place. And in your dog, that same switch is doing the same job. But it isn't perfect. A little of the dream leaks past it. The big movements are blocked, but the small ones slip through. The twitching paws, the whimper, the paddling legs. So when you watch your dog run in its sleep, you are watching the visible edge of a dream, the part that leaked past the guard. The dream itself is bigger. You're only seeing the spillover. So how do we know there's a real, vivid dream behind that twitch and not just random nerve static? For that, meet the cats and one of the most extraordinary experiments in the history of sleep. Decades ago, a researcher located that very switch, the part of the brain that paralyzes the body during REM, and in cats, he carefully disabled it. Just that one switch. Everything else about their sleep left intact. And what happened next is unforgettable. The cats fell asleep, slipped into REM, into the dreaming stage, and then, still completely asleep, they got up. And they began to act out their dreams. They stalked across the floor, low and careful, hunting. They pounced on prey that was not there. They arched their backs. They hissed. They swatted at invisible things. They crouched and sprang. Fast asleep the entire time, performing, in full, the hunt that was playing inside their heads. Researchers stood and watched cats dream, out loud, with their whole bodies. And what were the cats dreaming about? They were dreaming about being cats, about stalking and pouncing and hunting, the deepest, oldest business of their kind. The dream was their nature, set free in the dark. That's powerful, but it's still watching from the outside, reading the dream off the body. The next experiment went further. It read the dream off the brain itself. Researchers worked with rats running a maze. Now, in a rat's brain, there are special cells that fire in specific patterns depending on exactly where the rat is in space, a kind of internal map. And as a rat ran its maze, the scientists recorded the precise pattern of those cells firing, the unique signature of this spot, then that turn, then that corridor. They learned to read the map. They could look at the firing pattern and say, the rat is here, now here, now here. And then they watched the same rat sleep. And in the rat's sleep, those exact same patterns played again. The very same sequences of cells, firing in the very same order, replaying the run through the maze, so faithfully, so precisely that the researchers could follow along. They could look at the sleeping rat's brain activity and tell you where in the maze the rat was dreaming it was. Which corridor, which turn. They traced the dream, step by step, like a finger moving along a map. A sleeping rat was running the maze again in its mind, and we could read exactly where it ran. That is as close as science has ever come to reading the literal content of a dream. And the content was the day. The rat was dreaming about the thing it had done, rerunning its own life in the dark. And it isn't only mammals dreaming of motion. Take songbirds. A young songbird spends its days learning its song, and the brain regions it uses to sing have a specific firing pattern for each note, each phrase. And when researchers watched those birds sleep, they found the song brain replaying, silently, in the same patterns as when the bird was singing, as if the bird were running through its song in its sleep, note by note, with no sound coming out. The birds appear to rehearse their songs in their dreams. They dream in music. The thing they are becoming, the song that will one day win them a mate and a place in the world. They practice it at night, in silence, behind closed eyes. So now you can see the shape of it. These dreams are not random nonsense. The cat dreams the hunt, the rat dreams the maze it ran, the bird dreams its song. And that points straight at why dreaming exists at all. Because when the brain replays an experience in sleep, it seems to help lock that experience in, to consolidate the memory, to rehearse the skill, to file away the lessons of the day. The rat reruns the maze to remember the way through it. The bird rehearses to perfect the song. The day's experience gets practiced and sorted and burned in, overnight, in the safety of sleep. Dreaming is, in a real sense, the brain getting better at being itself while the body rests. The animal goes to sleep and quietly, in the dark, becomes more of what it is. And the frontier of this just keeps getting stranger and more wonderful. Scientists watching sleeping octopuses have seen them cycle into an active state, where their skin suddenly flickers and flashes through colors and patterns, their eyes moving, their bodies twitching, looking unnervingly like an animal in REM. And researchers have started to wonder, carefully, whether an octopus might be dreaming too, flashing through the camouflage and the colors of its waking hunts. I have to be honest with you here, the way this series always tries to be. That octopus question is still open, still speculative, and honestly, the whole subject has a hard limit we can't cross. We can watch the body act out the dream, we can read the brain replay the day, but we cannot climb inside and feel what the animal feels, cannot confirm the texture of its experience from within. We know the machinery of dreaming is running in them. What it is actually like to be a dreaming dog from the inside, we can only infer. But what we can see is already astonishing, and it points only one way. So let's bring it home, to your own flaw, your own pet, and to that tender question I promised. Because here is the thing that stops me every time. Dreaming is the brain rehearsing the life the animal was built for. So what then does your house cat dream? Your cat has never hunted, not really. It has stalked a toy mouse, battered a feather on a string, but it has never crossed open ground after living prey, never gone hungry, never killed to eat, never lived the wildlife its body was shaped for over millions of years. By day, it sleeps in a sunbeam and waits for a bowl to be filled. And yet, buried in it, deep and complete and untouched, is the hunter, the whole apparatus. And at night, in REM, that hunter wakes up. Your soft, spoiled, utterly safe house cat almost certainly dreams the hunt it will never go on. It stalks, in the dark behind its eyes, across a landscape it has never seen, after prey it has never tasted, being, fully and freely, the wild thing it never got to be by day. And your dog, paddling its paws on the rug, who has never once run down anything across a plain, is very likely dreaming the chase across grasslands it has never crossed, the open country its ancestors ran for 100,000 years. Do you see what that is? It's the very thing this whole series has been about, returning one more time. An ancient program running in a world that no longer has any use for it. The wildlife, the hunt, the run, the song, the deep inheritance of what these creatures truly are. The modern world gives them no place to spend it, so it goes underground. It waits. And every night, in the one place it still can, in the safe dark of sleep, it comes back. By day, the cat naps on the windowsill. By night, it returns to being a hunter on the open plain. The wild was never erased from it. It was just moved to where it could survive, into the dream. And there is something almost unbearably moving in that, once you really feel it. Your pet carries a whole secret life inside it, an entire inheritance of who its kind has always been. And even though it will never need that life, never use it, never live it out in the waking world, it doesn't lose it. It keeps it. It returns to it, faithfully, every single night. The hunt, the run, the song, the long ancestral memory of being free and wild and exactly itself. None of it is wasted. None of it is gone. It all lives on, in the dark, in dreams. And you do this too. You know you do. You dream of places you've never been and people long gone. You run, in your sleep, from things that aren't chasing you. You fly. Your own dreams are full of the same ancient rehearsal, the same strange return to older, deeper, wilder versions of yourself. So when you watch your dog's paws run against the air, you are not just looking at a cute little twitch. You are looking at a fellow dreamer, a creature with an inner world every bit as real and full and strange as your own, who has slipped out of this room and gone somewhere you cannot follow, to be something it was born to be. You are not alone in the dreaming. The whole warm-blooded world dreams right alongside you, every night. The dog and the cat and the rat and the bird and the elephant and you. A planet full of sleeping creatures, all gone somewhere else, all becoming more themselves in the dark. Isn't it strange, and isn't it lovely, how much living happens behind closed eyes? Your cat carries the hunter and runs it loose at night. Your dog carries the long-distance chase and crosses a country in its sleep. It's the same machinery we followed all season into every quiet room. The mind that feels watched in the dark, that loses itself in a doorway, that raises fur it no longer has, that keeps half awake in a strange bed, that holds its missing people across the hours, that keeps watch over a failing body, that chooses one favorite, that grieves what it loved. And here, at the soft end of the day, all of that ancient inheritance does the gentlest thing of all. It tucks itself into a dream and goes home to a wild world that no longer exists anywhere but there. So what do animals dream about? They dream, it seems, about being what they are. The cat dreams the hunt, the bird dreams the song, the dog dreams the run. They go, each night, back to the oldest, truest version of themselves, the one the daylight world has no room for anymore, and they live it again in the dark. And they wake up, and they pad over to you, and they ask for breakfast like nothing happened. So the next time you catch your pet running in its sleep, paws flying, chasing something only it can see, do me one favor. Let it run. Don't wake it. Somewhere behind those flickering eyes it is young and wild and free, doing the very thing it was made for, across a country only it will ever see. Let it have that. It earned it, just by carrying the wild this far. I go back there every night, you know, to the long grass and the open ground and the chase and the old, clean joy of being exactly what I am. You can't come with me. There's no room for you where I go, and no need. But watch my paws move, and know that wherever I am happy, and I am free, and I am everything my kind has ever been. And then I'll wake up, and pad across the floor, and choose this instead. Choose you, and the sunbeam, and the bowl.
I keep the wild for the dark, but the daylight I give to you.